Continuing with section 1.7 on problem solving, we have two mixture problems that involve evaporations and dilutions of solutions. Example 5, how much water must be evaporated from 240 gallons of a 3% salt solution to make a 5% salt solution? We'll round to the nearest whole number as needed and include units. Okay, you may have seen problems like this worked where you set up a table. That's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. You do need to end up with an equation though that you solve with a variable. I prefer just to use logic and write out words first and then replace words with variables and numbers and get to my equation that way. So I'm going to demonstrate that. So what's happening here is you're going to have some amount of water you'll start with, and I just call that my start water. Each one of these terms has to be the same thing. I said that before with money times pounds, money times pounds, and money times pounds, same thing here. So we are going to evaporate water, so I need all of my terms to be water. So I'm starting with a certain amount of water. If I evaporate water from this solution, from what I have here, am I adding or subtracting water? Right, I'm subtracting. So I'm going to subtract my evaporated water. And this is in, what did they say? This is in gallons. Gallons. And then I'll end up with what I call my end water in gallons. So let's explore these. How much water are we starting with? Start water. What do they tell us? We have 240 gallons of a 3% salt solution. That's what we're starting with. Well, what does that mean? That means 240 gallons, 3% of it is salt. So what percent of it is water? Right, 97% of 240 gallons is our water, right? Or in other words, 0.97 times 240, that's how much water we're starting with. Evaporated water. Well, how much water must be evaporated? Well, that's going to be our evaporated water is what we're looking for, right? So that is my X. And then how much water will we end up with? Well, they tell us at the end you're going to have a 5% salt solution. So what percent of the remaining will be water? 95%, yes. But how many gallons will we have? Because we're starting with 240, will we still have 240? No, because we said we're going to subtract X. So we're going to have 95% of it is water, but we won't have 240 gallons. We'll have 240 minus how much, whatever amount got evaporated. Okay, so let's plug everything in. We have 0.97 times 240. That's how much water we start with. We'll evaporate off X, and then 95% of the 240 minus X will be the water we have at the end. Water, water, water. They have to be the same. Okay, so this is the easy part. We just multiply. Here we get 232.8 minus X equals 0.95 times 240, 228, and 0.95 times X. Okay, and then what do we want to do? We'll subtract 228 from 232, and that's 4.8, and add X to both sides, so negative 0.95 plus 1 is put that in the wrong place, 0.05X, and divide both sides by 0.05, and X is 96. So how much water must be evaporated? 96 gallons must be evaporated. Okay, the next problem talks about a solution, an 8-liter solution that is 4% extract of baneberry, and the rest of it's water, to get a solution that contains a 2% extract of baneberry. And it says how much water must be added. Okay, so we'll have our start water in liters. Now, they said added, so obviously we know we're going to have added water, right? In liters, and we'll end up with our end water in liters. So how much are we starting with? How much of it's water? Well, it says we're starting with 8 liters. That's 4% extract of baneberry. So it's 0.96 or 96% water, right? So I'm not writing all the words like I did, but 96% of the 8 liters would be water. Our added water is what we're looking for, so that's X, and our end water would be what? So it's going to end up being 2% baneberry, so it'll be 98%, but will we have 8 liters still? No, we'll have 8 liters plus however much we added, right? Okay, 0.96 times 8 plus X equals 0.98 times 8 plus X. Distribute, multiply, all that good stuff. This is what, 7.68 plus X equals 0.98 times 8 is 7.84 plus 0.98X. All right, so let's subtract 0.98X from both sides and we get 0.02X. Subtract 7.68 from both sides, we get 0.16. And divide both sides by 0.02 and we get 8. So we need to double it, don't we? Need to add, don't we? We need to add another 8 liters must be added. I can put that. Okay, so we actually have to double the amount in order to go from 4% extract of baneberry, dilute it with another 8 liters to go down to 2% extract of baneberry.